What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, Izzy.
Hey, this is Pro Bitch Podcast here. Izzy on the MIC.
It's your girl, Mimi.
And we are missing our third host here, Court. She's out of town this week. So it's just Amira and I this
Hope
week.
you're enjoying this weather, Court.
For real. Because it's been beautiful the last 2 days.
Absolutely.
How you been?
I'm pretty good. I won't complain.
Don't complain.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's nothing to complain about. I mean, shit's cool, you know.
Your old namaste.
Yeah, I would say like 80%. Yeah.
Still 80% namaste, still 20% fuck your shit up.
Yes, very. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good.
No, it is.
How about you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling. My sister went back home. She was like 2 days ago, whatever. She actually had been here since December, like before Christmas. So,
Quality time.
yeah, if you call it that. And, you know, it's like sometimes like you miss your siblings or, you know, you miss whoever and they live so far away. But then like when you see them every day, you're like, all right, I'm good. You can go home. But it's just like that, you know, little sister, older sister dynamic. So,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Oh, I forgot. She'd kill me if she knew that I just didn't mention it. But my baby turned 9 last week.
She did.
She did. She's such a big girl now.
She really is. And her birthday party was fun. You and her father did a great job at putting that together.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, did you feel your age trying to do half of the stuff?
Hell yeah. So we went to, her birthday party was at like one of the,
It was called Wonderfly Arena, but it was like one of those open space little arena things where you could do stuff like dodgeball, Nerf wars, and the hamster ball races.
And the little big bubble thing where you like
run and bump into each other.
So Amira had me race her sister.
Yes, in the hamster ball.
In the hamster ball. So I was in this big, giant plastic ball. And mind you, like a week before that, I had fell roller skating. So I messed up my hand. I had on a hand brace and I forgot. So I'm like in this hamster ball, like reeling my ass off, just trying to like win this race or whatever. It was hard. Like it wasn't hard. It's just like it's an awkward space because either you're gonna stand up or you're gonna be like all like crawling on your all fours, you know.
Yeah.
But when I got out, let me tell you, I was so out of breath. Like I couldn't even get out the ball. Like I like fell out, and I was just like, it literally took me a good 5 minutes to catch my breath.
Oh shit. Yeah, the hamster ball, I wasn't gonna see. I wasted my youth on the bumper bubble things. We had to run around in a bubble and bump into each other. So that's what you got out of me. I did the Nerf wars and I did dodgeball. Like that was.
Oh yeah.
To me, that was
you
good.
was trying to fuck them kids up at dodgeball.
I was trying. Yeah, but yeah. So my baby's 9. That made me feel old as shit. I'm not even gonna lie.
Time was flying, bro.
Yeah, but I know. But I mean, other than that, things are going well.
That's good.
So why are we here today? What are we talking about today? I mean, I know why we're here, but what's the topic? What are we?
So I'm pretty sure y'all done seen this viral shit on the internet, per usual, with Mr. No Good Ass Derrick Jaxn.
Yes.
The self-proclaimed like relationship guru. I mean, all right, he's always giving me fuckboy vibes. And we all know that he had fuckboy vibes because he would tell you what are the, you know, typical signs of a fuckboy and what to avoid and how to deal with the situations. But, you know, he has like workshops, he has a card game, he's built like a huge like a brand, and
he has
pretty
several
much
books. He's done tours.
He's built an empire off of helping women navigate the dating world and men's bullshit, right? And come to find out,
he a whole fuckboy.
Like, he is the very man that he's been telling everybody out here to avoid. Like, so insane. Like, this man has been married for 12 years.
Well, he's been with the girl for 14 years, married for 2. Oh,
yes.
Oh, no. Or married for 3.
Yeah, because I think, so when I was stalking her Instagram, I think they did get married in 2018.
Okay, yeah.
But they had been together since, like, college or something, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, been with this girl for 14 years, only been married for 3. That's weird, number one. But
that's red flag number 1, right?
But they already had 2 kids. in that 14-year time period. And apparently he's been cheating the entire time, gaslighting her, and on top of it, no disrespect to anyone, she's like a Jesus freak. Like,
yeah, and I feel like he's used that to manipulate her into forgiving and staying, honestly, because, you know.
But like at that point, what is the point?
God is testing their relationship. It's Satan, not him.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, these devil women are coming to test, you know.
The devil women on IG?
Yeah, are coming to test their relationship. But anyway, so what we decided to talk about today, we thought it would be good to cover infidelity, cheating.
Because, I feel like we've talked about a lot of relationship things, but I don't think we've ever actually covered, like,
dun, dun, dun.
cheaters. Like the show.
Right. So, I mean, if we get into this, like, how would you define cheating?
Okay. Cheating. First of all, off bat, if you're in a committed relationship, like you guys have had that discussion, you're in a committed relationship or you're married, cheating is having sex with another person. Cheating is, I feel like, flirting. Like I feel like flirting has like zones, you know, like there's like the I'm just a human being type flirting, right? I'm saying maybe you're out at a bar or whatever. Then there's like the yellow zone, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a green zone. Then you get to the yellow zone where it's like, oh, we exchanged numbers, or, you know, we're texting and flirting, but nothing ever has actually transpired. Mm-hmm. But like when you get to that yellow zone, you've gotten there because you intend to go to the red zone.
Gotcha.
And the red zone is like you're meeting up, you're going on dates. Like to me, it doesn't. So okay, sorry, I know I'm all over the place, but like cheating is basically sleeping with someone else, going on dates with someone other than your partner. I think there is a form of emotional cheating. Mm-hmm. You know, when you are looking for things that you feel are lacking in your relationship in another person, you're relying on the other person for the emotional support. And then, just like anything that you feel like if your partner did would make you feel some kind of way.
Gotcha. That's fair.
What about you?
No, so I don't know. I think mine is a little more gray area just because I think it's my fuck girl tendencies coming out a little bit. But I just feel like with cheating, it's kind of like everybody has their boundaries that they set in their relationship.
Right.
And like including like those boundaries with intimacy with other people. Because I'm not going to say that, you know, relationships don't exist outside of like the traditional monogamous thing. But like if you cross those boundaries that you've set in your relationship with another person, I mean, then it's cheating. Come on. Like you said, if you're not okay with your partner doing it with someone else, then 9 times out of 10, it's not okay. It's really not. But I mean, everybody sets their boundaries different. So if you set those boundaries and you find yourself crossing those boundaries, I mean, you're dead ass wrong. It's cheating.
Okay, I'm going off script here, but what if y'all never actually define the boundaries?
Well,
because you know, like some things go just like kind of unsaid.
But see, one thing that I've been learning in doing therapy is that my moral code is not someone else's moral code. So you can't just assume that somebody's going to move how you move. And it seems really elementary, right? I mean, but I feel like you do need to have certain conversations. Now, if you say that, okay, we're going to be exclusive and we're only going to sleep with each other, then obviously that's a boundary. You're only having sex with each other. Or, you know, like, well, I don't want you to, I mean, like, I find like certain intimate interactions are just for us. I don't think that you should have them with other people. I mean, I feel like those conversations need to be had. And maybe I'm taking it back to the basics, but I've learned that my moral compass is not someone else's.
I agree.
And I, like, you know, in my experiences, even when I talk to, I mean, like, if I just have, like, regular conversations with guys, I find, like, oh, so, like, you don't see things how I see them. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, I think you just need to have the conversation on what your boundaries are. And if you're married, I feel like your vows set those boundaries, though. I mean, like, it's...
You think so?
I mean, it sets the basis for your boundaries when you're married. I mean, your vows kind of do. I mean, I think, but
never mind. All right,
go ahead. What?
Because I'm just like in Derrick Jaxn's case, he's doing the same thing in marriage that he was doing before they got married.
Absolutely. Oh no, I wholeheartedly believe like what a person is doing before you get married, they're gonna do it, if not worse, once you get married, because then they feel like that marriage is kind of like their security almost.
Yeah.
Like, like I have a buffer, because like now that this person has married me, they're not gonna take it as lightly leaving me. And if they've married me and I'm out here doing all of this, then I mean there's a certain level of acceptance. People don't get better when you marry them. They actually get a little worse because they get comfortable. Not, and when I say worse, I don't mean like they become horrible people, but I'm just saying like, they get more relaxed and they're more comfortable. So, I mean, they really letting it,
See, this is
I'm letting you see me for real.
I can't even say what I want to say now.
Say it.
I was gonna be like, well, this is why I don't really want to get married. No. But now I can't say that because I'm hurting feelings.
You're getting married, but it's just a thing of know who you're marrying, and don't think that marrying someone or putting a ring on, or someone putting a ring on your finger necessarily means they're going to improve. Like,
yeah, got you.
You're saying I accept you, I see you, and I accept you at where you are. That is what you're saying. Okay. But most of us, honestly, women, that's not what we hear.
Because I think that our reaction to marriage is different. It can be, like now it's like you said, you have that security. So now you're gonna try to maintain your security, and you might, I think, ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we see it.
Right. For men, it's the opposite. I feel like, or it's not like as exacerbated. Like those feelings aren't as exacerbated.
Yeah. Because we're sold a fairy tale from the age of like, since the moment that you get your first little like princess dress and the little slippers, and you get your first baby doll in your kitchen. Like, we're sold the dream. I think that's why it's like, but we're getting off topic.
Sure.
So. All right. So when it comes, so like in this Derrick Jaxn debacle, right? We see both sides where it's like, oh, well, you could see why he cheated, or there's the, well, regardless of what's happening in his relationship, or, I mean, he decided to marry this person, so you can't blame her. Now, like, what's your stand on that? Like, so, not in their relationship necessarily, but just like in cheating, like, do you think that the person that cheats should take all the blame? Do you think it's a shared responsibility, or do you think it falls on the person
that got cheated on?
Yeah.
So I think that it's just circumstantial. Like, for instance, there are instances like when men feel neglected, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they're going to go out. Well, not men. Okay. When a person feels neglected in a relationship, either they're going to try to fix it, or they're going to look for whatever they're missing somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
And maybe the other party or the partner doesn't know that, like, hey, that they're not meeting their needs. Unless you actually come and have a conversation and then, like, explicitly say, hey, my needs aren't being met.
Yeah.
Like, let's move towards a solution. So there are people out here, and I didn't know that people do expect you to read their mind.
Yeah.
They expect
you weird as fuck, right? Like,
they expect you to know, like, hey, well, this makes me feel loved, and you didn't do this thing, so I feel like you don't love me, and now I'm just gonna go find love or ass or whatever somewhere else. And you're like, but you didn't tell me. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's circumstantial. Sometimes it's on one person. Like, there are men out there or women out there that just want some variety. Like, you just want to go out there and experience something new. Maybe y'all got married young. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is. So I really think it's circumstantial. So I'm not going to say the person that has gotten cheated on is completely absolved from any blame. Mm. I just think it depends on the situation. I don't know.
What?
That isn't, I think just because but at the same, like, there isn't just because there's a problem, that does not give the cheater the right to cheat. But I think that most people don't have the emotional IQ or intelligence or feel safe to express, their concerns, or like if their needs and stuff aren't being met. So they just go and do some bullshit. I don't know.
Okay.
What?
Did I say it?
You're looking at me like, bitch, that's how you feel?
No. So I don't feel like my feelings are very far off from you, from where you are. So when it comes to the cheating, like I do think the person that cheated should take full accountability for the act of cheating. Right? Like for the act of stepping out. Because I do think that, you do have people that regardless of how bad their relationship gets, they're never going to cheat.
That's
you
fair.
have people that it's the first little hiccup and they're like, oh, I'm going to get some ass. So, I mean, I think it's just in kind of like in your character and your makeup, like how you respond to the imbalance in your relationship.
Yeah.
So for the actual act of cheating, I think that the person that cheats does need to take full responsibility for that. But I do think that it is on both parties to fix the root cause of that cheating, right?
That's really well said.
Or get to the root cause of, of the cheating. So if the root cause is a self-esteem or ego issue, then obviously the cheater needs to work on some things. But if the root cause is the cheater not feeling loved or heard or validated, then that's something that needs to be worked on by both parties.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a thing of blame necessarily. I mean, it's like accepting accountability on the cheating and then also the root cause of the cheating. I mean, like we would like to think in a perfect world that people would have the emotional intelligence and the ability to come and say, I don't feel loved because such and such, or I don't feel supported in this way, but it doesn't work that way.
Not at all.
And then not only that, we would hope that our partners have the emotional intelligence to accept when your partner feels like the relationship is lacking. Because, you have that end too, where someone does really well with saying, I don't feel supported or I don't feel loved, but the other person isn't really good at receiving that information. And then, he can get all on the defensive and then, he can go that way too. So
yeah, and then the fight turns into something so far away from what the actual issue is.
Yeah. So I get it. So yeah, I'm not far from what you were saying.
No, but you said it way better than I did. You did. It was like you did a really good job with that. Okay.
Yeah. So the common reasons for infidelity, right? So like me and Izzy had this conversation and we kind of talked about what we thought they were. And then like, of course, we always do our research to look at like, what the experts say because we don't deem ourselves experts in everything. But some of the common reasons were not feeling committed, which, did it elaborate on that a little bit? Like, but so like, is it like you just wake up one day and just like fuck it all, or how does that?
It was more or less like FOMO.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, like I mentioned earlier, like people got married too young, or maybe like now we're in the Instagram age, right? So like there's so much other variety out here that like people didn't even know existed.
That's true.
So it's kind of like, well, you love this, there's not as a full blown out fear of commitment, but like, am I really supposed to be with this person? Did I make the wrong decision? Like, I love them. We have a life together, but then there's all these bad bitches over here on Instagram, and I can slide in.
The question: can you actually get one though before you go FOMO and like, can you get one if you were single though? But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I kind of like, I get it though.
But some people just be unrealistic as fuck though.
It's facts though. Like, why are you sliding into this girl's DMs and she has 500,000 followers and she's verified? Like,
but you're supposed to dream, envision, manifest though, right? Like, nothing's off limits. But go ahead. So fear not.
Yeah. So the committed part was like basically FOMO. Or either they have like intimacy issues where it's like they can be together, or they can be with someone, but they can't get too close, right? So yeah, that was the committed part.
Gotcha. So the next one was out of anger or like for revenge.
So crazy. So I've had someone cheat on me, and he literally called it revenge sex.
Oh my God.
And I had never heard that shit before, and I was like, "Yo, are you fucking serious? Like, what the fuck did I do to you that you thought that, like, hey, I'm going to fix this problem, go fuck this bitch over here?" Like, and he was just like, well, I was mad that you didn't do X, Y, Z, or that you did blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, but you couldn't just say that.
He wanted you to feel how he felt.
Yeah.
But to him, the crazy part about that is that he felt like they were equal.
Well, he didn't feel that way after I pushed his motorcycle into the fucking lake, so there's that part.
Yeah.
After I drove 13 hours to Chicago and pushed his fucking motorcycle in the lake. Yeah, I did that, John. I did. I've done other things. I think that's in the top 3 worst things though that I've done.
Yeah, I would say.
But yeah, like instead of communicating their feelings, they figure like, oh, I'm gonna go hurt the other party and go have revenge sex or go cheat or whatever it is. Yeah.
The other one was to boost your self-esteem.
Yeah. So maybe you getting old. Maybe you getting that dad bod.
Or that mom bod, you didn't have like 3 kids and it's not snapping back like it used to. So you need to go out here and see if you still got it.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you get it.
And you're like, oh, okay. All right. I just had to check. See if I lost it. I get it. So situational forces like D-rugs or drinking.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Like, I got drunk and slipped and fell on some pussy. Like, that one to me was some bullshit. Like, I mean, yeah, I get the situational, like, maybe you're out drinking with your boys and, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you do have some low self-esteem issues and some little thing comes up and it's like, hey, we're going to an after party with my friends. You want to come? Like, and then you go. And then you just end up butt ass naked. I don't know.
So have you ever been that drunk where you've done some shit and you were like, ooh, maybe not?
No. I don't think I've ever had like drunk sex or like D-rug sex was like, damn, I regretted that. I shouldn't have done that or I shouldn't have been here. That's never... Like, okay, when I'm drunk or I'm high, you already know this. I'm hyper, like, sensitive. I will go sit in the corner and be away from everybody. I don't know what it is. It's like my survival mode like kicks in. I'm like, I don't trust anybody around me.
Except for that one time we went to Vegas and you wanted to we were getting in a cab to go back to the hotel because we were fucked up. And so there was like 4 white dudes getting out of the cab we were getting ready to get into, and she was trying to kidnap one of them. She wanted to take one of them back with us because she liked his glasses.
He was like the cute, like nerdy.
I forgot what kind of glasses he had on. Like she knew the brand of the glasses.
Oh my god, I did.
Yeah, and she wanted to take him back with us because.
But he was like the cute, nerdy, like startup.
And I had to be like, no, just go. Could have been her husband though. I'm sorry.
Yeah. See, they looked like young though.
Yeah.
They looked like they were like 22.
Yeah.
But I mean, situational. All right, whatever.
I mean, it's happened to me once. Yeah.
Okay, but were you in a relationship?
No. You said you've never done been drunk and just, and that's what I'm saying. Like I've been drunk enough where it was just like, what happened?
It was low key like date rape. A little bit.
Yeah, another reason, feeling neglected.
I think this is a big one in most relationships. You do. Like either life gets in the way, you grow apart from your partner, you go away from your partner, or just you get busy, whatever it is, and you feel neglected, so you go look for attention somewhere else. Like I feel like that is like revenge and being neglected are like probably the biggest factors.
So you mentioned this before, this need for variety, which kind of goes into that not feeling committed with the FOMO, so that need for variety one. And then there's falling out of love.
Yeah. Like, I could see somebody falling out of love with someone and then not having the balls to, like, break up with them. Yeah. Especially if you're married. Because there's a lot that you're losing. If you have kids or you have a family, you have house. Like, there's so much invested. Yeah, so true. I could see that.
Yeah. And I guess that falling out of love and losing interest part they all kind of go together. Right? Would you say?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like losing interest, falling out of love, like you just don't give a fuck about this person anymore. So instead of telling them and hurting their feelings. And this is a thing that drives me nuts because I hear so many people say this, well, I didn't want to hurt you or I didn't want to hurt that person and tell them this. So you go and you cheat on them and you devastate them.
Yeah, it's weird as fuck. What was the one that we saw? Where we read about where it was like they cheat in the hopes that you do break up with them.
Yes.
So, and then it was like, but then what do you do when the person's like, okay, well, it's all right. Like, we'll work through it. So then it's kind of like, and then you still have to hit them with the, well, no, I don't want to be with you. This is why I did it. So like, it's like a double.
Yeah, it's a double heartbreak. It's like a double whammy. Like, you're brokenhearted that this person had cheated on you, and then you're even more brokenhearted that they cheated on you because they don't want to be with you. Like, and I know we're laughing, and it's that shit happens in real life.
I'm laughing because it's so fucked up. Like,
it really is fucked up, and it's just like so crazy how like our brains and our emotions work.
Yeah.
Like, to like, you would I want to know the psychology behind that.
Yeah.
Like, what drives someone to commit an act that's way worse than the initial act? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't think that, and I don't know. So, because I feel like we have the ability to kind of, we have insight, right? And some level of emotional intelligence. So I think it's hard to kind of fathom like where that would come from, you know, but maybe it's a certain level of self-centeredness is needed to be able to do it. Probably. I mean, if especially, and now I get it if I'm trying to hurt you. Like, I really just don't give a fuck about you anymore. I can kind of get how it could go there, but if I'm going to cheat to give you a reason to leave me, instead of just saying, hey, you know what, we're growing apart and this just isn't the place for me anymore.
So fucking cowardly. So cowardly.
Yeah. So it was, even though we have all these common reasons or whatever, I mean, like, we know that infidelity kind of leaves a lasting, or I mean, it could be short-term or long-term effects, right? Like, so some of the issues that kind of come up with, one is trust issues, right? So like, even if you decide to like stay with someone, you kind of have to build the trust again.
For sure. Like, and that takes a lot of work.
And a lot of time.
Yeah. And I think the statistic that I read said that it takes the couples that actually stay together, it takes them about 2 years to really rebuild the trust and rebuild their relationship, because it's not even like you're starting at zero again. Like, you're actually kind of in the negative.
Yeah.
So you have to dig yourself out of that hole, you know, and just get back to a place where everyone has open communication and, you know, you're trusting. But I personally, as someone who's been cheated on, I never trusted that person ever again.
Yeah.
Like, ever again.
No.
You know, like, one in particular I'm still cool with. Mm-hmm. And, like, we're friends. Like, we literally can talk about our current relationships, like, whatever it is. But I still don't trust that nigga. Like, he will tell me anything about one of the girls that he's messing with. He'll tell me something about whatever. And I'll be like, nigga, you lying. Like, in the back of my mind, I don't give a fuck what he says. Like, I honestly always think he's lying. Like, when it comes to women in relationships, but like everything else, I mean, I think he's pretty truthful, and it's fucked up because he's a dope ass person most of the time. But when it comes to bitches, I just think he's always lying.
So then there.
It's the truth.
No, I mean, I get it totally. I mean,
I just don't, like, him and I have actually had conversations where we were like, do we think we could ever get back to that point? And I just don't know.
Yeah. I think for me that's a big one too, trust issues, because then I feel like do I really know you?
Exactly.
I mean, so another like result of infidelity is the person. What do you call them? The person that's been cheated on. I don't want to call them a victim. It just sounds so dramatic.
They are a victim of cheating, of infidelity.
But you end up with this feeling of, so you end up with low self-esteem and feeling like you're not enough.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, if the person that you love or you built this life with goes out and cheats on you, you're like, well, damn, was her ass fatter than mine? Was she prettier than me? Did they have, you know, if it's a guy, like, did they have more money than me? Like, what was it about that person that made you go cheat?
So one thing that I feel like women require, if nothing else, this bitch better look better than me. Like, that's always the first thing we want to know, and they never do.
Please. Like, because at that point, I can't even respect you. You went out here and cheated on me with some fucking dusty ass bitch. And now I'm over here like, damn, if she's dusty and that's what you cheated on me with, and I'm over here cooking your food, sucking dick, got a badass body, all this shit. What? Damn, what is wrong with me?
Honey. That's the first, I don't know what it is about it, but that's the first thing we want to know.
Yeah, because if it's a bad bitch, I can't, what I'm going to do, I'm like, damn.
I'm like, hey.
You know what?
You got it.
I get it.
You got it.
You know what? If I was a man, I would fuck her too. Like, maybe even I wasn't a man. You know what? I might fuck her too. Like, right now. Like, I get it. But, yeah, I mean, and then, like, you know, so you have this, like, insecurity about yourself because even if, like, and that has happened to me. You know, like, even like, me being who I seem to be, like, I never felt insecure until that shit happened to me.
If anyone didn't know, Izzy is that bitch. If you didn't know, just in case.
I mean,
right.
I need a shirt that says that. I'm that bitch or that bitch, hashtag. But, like, I dead ass, like, was so insecure after that shit happened to me. And I'm not the dude that pushed his motorcycle in the, like, I actually wasn't, I gave a fuck about that. But, like, this person that I'm actually still cool with, like, that shit made me so insecure. And I felt like when I was actually with him was, like, the best that I actually looked. Like, you know, my career was turning around and stuff like that. But it just still made me kind of, like, insecure about the way I looked. And then, I don't know, just, it does. And it's hard to not think that way when you're moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I will say for myself, yeah, I will say, like, I did have that feeling of questioning whether, you know, I was enough. But there was, like, one area, like, as far as sex, that was kind of a thing for us. Like, even though our sex life was good, he always had an issue with, like, my kink. So I did start to feel more insecure about that and kind of letting people into that because that part of me was such an issue for him. So, you know, like when, you know, like we would get into our little tiffs or our little arguments, like he would kind of throw that at me or whatever. So when he was unfaithful, it was kind of like, I don't know, like it just kind of made me feel like, so like, is that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, because I mean, like the bitches was just like straight basic, like regular, just, and I'm like, well, maybe that's the problem. So like, it kind of made me shy away from kind of being my sexually free self. And so like, you know, like I would, you know, that's when I started having the conversations, you know, with my therapist, like, you know, well, is that a part of my life that I can kind of do without, you know, like, and if I had to switch that out for a healthy relationship, could I do that, you know, and kind of do without that? Because at that time, at the end of that relationship, I kind of felt like where I, like, you know, my sexuality and where I was with that, it felt more like a burden because it was like such a sore spot, you know what I mean? So it was like, oh, well, I'll just cut that part of me out because then maybe I'll be a little more acceptable. But you know, I was able to work through all of that, and it's kind of like, fuck it, you either like it or you don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was definitely, it made me question that part for sure. I mean, I ain't question what I look like because, I mean, look at me. But anyway, so we start doubting our ability to judge, right? We start to doubt our discernment, right? Like, so is there like how we start to question, like, are we choosing wrong? Like, did I not pick up on some stuff here?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know you were this kind of person. I missed something. So we start to question.
Yeah, it definitely affects your judgment. Like, because you're like, oh, what the fuck? Like, and I think it goes back to what you said earlier. Like, damn, do I even know you? Like, did I miss something? Like, nah, for sure. It definitely makes you second guess yourself. And I feel like that's just another insecurity that you know, sure, as a result of that. Yeah.
And then like the other one was emotional highs and lows, right? Like, so like, especially when you try to work it out, it's like 1 minute like, oh, I still love you. And then you turn into fucking Chucky. Like,
the next minute you're like, oh, I fucking hate your guts. go kill yourself.
Matter of fact, I'll do it for you.
Like, what are we going to do today? I don't give a fuck if you eat or not. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, you literally hate that person, but you still love them at the same time. And it's not even just that. It's like, you know, even though you have that internal battle, it's still, and then I feel like that kind of contributes to, you know, like some of the issues, like having that emotional instability, right? So like this person, maybe they're making an effort, right? And then you're accepting of the effort. Sometimes maybe they're making an effort and you're not accepting of the effort. And that can kind of put you in another cycle of, well, I'm trying to make things better and they're not accepting it, and they can go about their business, or they're cheating, or whatever they did is justified, right?
Yeah.
So I think people just need to be aware that just because you apologize as the aggressor, I want to say, I don't know, just because you apologize, you know, or you're making an effort, doesn't necessarily mean that that person is always going to be accepting of it.
Yeah.
Like, you fucked up.
You know. Exactly. And the last one, I mean, how many is that? Like number 5. I mean, at the end of the day, you got me out here looking dumb as fuck. Got me out here looking like Boo Boo the Fool. Because, I mean,
yeah, because I mean, like, your ego is crushed.
Yeah.
And if you guys have a circle of friends or whatever it is, or their family, I have 3 uncles. Mm-hmm. One of my uncles I think he's up to 8 or 9 right now, by like 7 or 6 different women. And he was married. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Unc.
And we all knew.
Yeah.
And his wife at the end was like, y'all really had me out here looking stupid. She don't fuck with nobody in our family to this day because of that very reason. She was like, y'all literally knew that he had all these kids out here. He had all these women, and nobody said shit to me about it. And I was a kid, but growing up, in retrospect, that is fucked up.
It is. Very.
Like, your friends, your family, everybody know, and everybody just smiling in my face got me out here looking real fucking dumb.
Yeah. I feel like that would be a huge deciding factor for me, too. The trust, and you got me out here looking like an idiot, like dumb as fuck.
Yeah, because, like, if you think about that, like, that's mad disrespectful.
Yeah. I think I told you, like, you know, when I was married, like, my biggest thing was, like, y'all niggas came in here, eat my fucking food for card night and everything, and all y'all motherfuckers knew. All of y'all came in here smiling in my face, eat my food, kissing my baby, and all y'all bitches knew.
Fucking trash.
Yeah. Yeah. I barely talk to any of them, like, barely. Oh, you don't come around no more. For what?
Like, for what? Like, I mean, okay, I get it's bros before hoes type shit, but
don't come over here.
Right.
Don't eat my food.
Don't be smiling in my face.
No. Don't kiss my baby.
Because you probably smiling in that bitch's face,
exactly.
too.
Go eat at your own house. Go have card night at your house.
Or at that bitch house.
That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, that trust issues in that part.
Yeah, because, I mean, I just feel like that makes you even more insecure. Like, everybody out here think you dumb. Like, aha.
But I know one thing, but you better not ever tell anybody anything that I do that I'm dealing with. You my best friend. Ain't no... You better let that motherfucker look dumb as shit. I don't care what we talking about right now.
Okay, I mean, and that's going to be hoes before bros for real, though. I mean, that's different. Like, you might know, but you know, vice versa, but I'm not going to be bringing that nigga around my whole family.
True. That is true. That is very true.
That's the thing that gets me with men.
Like, the whole family.
And that's why they get caught more often than we do. Because they do dumb shit like that. Like, you gonna bring around the whole family. Or you wanna take the kids and pick her up from her job.
Like, dummy.
Our producers looked at me like, what the hell you trying to... I had a friend, his wife found out or whatever, that, you know, he was cheating on her. And his daughter goes, yeah, mommy, because I heard daddy talk on the phone and like every day I heard him talking on the phone to this lady and he was always talking about blah, 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 blah.
Dummy.
Stupid.
Dummy.
Like, your kid is old enough to talk about the understand what you're saying and who you're talking to. She hears how you're talking to this woman and knows it's not her mother. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so. But so with all of this, right? Like we understand, okay, we get why you cheat. We get the baggage that comes along with cheating. We get like it's not only the cheaters necessarily the cheater's fault. Like there might be a root cause that's, you know,
Whatever.
where y'all both to blame. It might be the system of marriage, not the person. I don't know. But with all of that considered, do you forgive or not? So, like, in our research, we found that 66% of husbands that cheat remain married.
Yeah. Whereas
Only 44%
of women
that cheat remain married.
And that's just in the married statistic. That's not even like in like just a relationship.
So men are not that forgiving.
Hell no. That's a 22% difference.
And I think that the percentage is even lower for people that aren't married. I think maybe 5% of men forgive if their girlfriend cheats on them.
You literally could go out here and ask any man, like, if your girl cheated, hell no. Nah. You couldn't even get the words out. Finish the sentence. Hell no. I ain't taking that.
I've had men tell me, they'd be like, but nah, that's different. How?
How, Sway?
It's different.
How?
It's different because they imagination get to work and they're like, that's supposed to be for me. And then somebody else in there clapping her cheeks, like, nah. Like, but so you don't think women feel
the same thing?
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's just like the factor of like, do you do the same thing with me that you do with her? Because if so,
like, did you eat her ass?
Ew.
Like, I need to know. Did you eat her ass? I need to know.
I'm over here drinking after you and you eating somebody else's ass. Like, come on, bro. Like, no. Like, that's my thing. Or like,
are there boundaries? I need to know.
Like, are you buying her better gifts? Like, what the like women think about all that type of shit. Like,
exactly. Whereas, I mean, like, I know for me, like, I mean, I'm not sucking every dick, right? But I mean, men are nasty. I'm sorry. Like,
they like to pretend that they aren't, but they are.
They're nasty. Like, yeah. So, I mean, I need to know, are you doing these things? I mean, like, there's a chance, like, depending on how long I've been dealing with the side, if I were cheating or if I were to cheat on someone, it would depend on how long I'm dealing with the side piece for me to say, like, whether we doing all the things or not. But initially, we wouldn't be doing all the things.
No.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if we got a little history.
Why her face light up, though?
We got a little history, then you might get all the things. I don't know. But I mean, yeah, I want to know too. Like, we feel the same way, in other words. Like,
yeah, for sure. And it's hard for women to forgive. Like, I think, like I was saying before, like, you know, like, people just like, all right, we're going to fix it. We're sweep it under the rug and act like it never happened. But it's really hard for women to forgive. And a lot of times, like, you don't forget.
No.
You know, well, not a lot. I think all times you don't forget. Like, it's so hard to forgive. It takes so much work on both parties. And I mean, I didn't see a statistic on this, but I think you and I had a conversation before about second chances. And it's like, when have you ever given someone a second chance and it actually worked out?
Never. Never.
Like, so to go through all this work, you're always going to be in the back of your mind. You're never going to you're never going to feel clear. Like, I feel like you're always going to wear this burden. Mm-hmm. You're always going to be like under this dark cloud of like, what's going to happen? And I don't think it's worth it. But I've also never been married. So I don't have the best relationship track record either.
So a 20-year-old you, would you have forgiven infidelity?
I have.
Okay.
I tried. Okay, I'll say I tried to. I wasn't 20. I was like 29, 30, 31, something like that. But I tried. And like I said, I still don't trust that nigga. Like, I really don't. You know, like, there was times where, like, he would just lie to me about really petty shit. And then I'd be like, ding, 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 ding. Let me go through his phone. Because if you're lying to me about some bullshit, then I know there's something going on. And, like, he would have, you know, like, spurts of, like, 6 months. Like Derrick Jaxn said, I've been good for 6 months. Like, he would do that same shit. Like, well, I haven't done anything in 3 or 4 months, Sean. Like, it's been 6 months. I've been good for the last 6 months, Sean. Bullshit. Maybe, like, 3 months. But you never get over it. I feel like personally, you don't ever get over it. And I have people, I know other people have been cheated on. I don't think anybody ever really gets over it.
And then, like, for me, like, having this conversation about you been good for such and such, nigga, you want a cookie? Like, if you really feel like it is that hard for you to be committed to me, we need to be having a whole nother conversation.
What are we doing?
Now, you know my perspective on things. Like, if I am in a relationship, I need it to be completely transparent. Now, if you are a person that is not okay with being monogamous, I mean, we could do some things, but just believe that it's going to be done on both sides. What's good for you is good for me. Now, if we're talking open, if we're talking poly, if we're talking about you want to swing, like, these are things that we can talk about. Like, I just feel like there are too many options out here for me to, one, beg you to be faithful, and for you to be sitting here and telling me I've been good for such X amount of months. Like, nah.
Is that supposed to make, like you said, do you want a cookie? Is that supposed to make me feel better?
It's weird as fuck.
Like, do you, okay, you've been good for 3 months, but what about the other 9 months in a year?
But it's like, but do you want to be here?
Exactly.
Because if it's that hard for you to be good,
agreed,
then we need to have a conversation about whether I'm the best person for you. Like, real shit. So, I mean, like, in my 20s, I did forgive and try to work it out. Now, no, I wouldn't. Only because, well, one, the trust thing. And it just takes a lot of work to rebuild from, like, cheating and infidelity. And I'm just not really I'm not willing to put forth the emotional effort it takes to rebuild it. I'm just really not.
agreed.
Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, I ain't got it in me.
Like, it's just
I don't have it in me. It does take a lot of, like, time, energy, effort to sit down and rebuild with someone. And I just, at 36-year-old, like, I'm fine with being by myself. If you don't want to be with me, that's cool.
And then, like I said, I just feel like there are too many options in how you can frame your relationship for us to be here.
Agreed.
And I feel like I'm too easygoing of a person for you not to come and talk to me like, hey, so.
And that was my biggest thing with that relationship.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you try to slide up in, like, you know, a club, you know, a sex club, if you're trying to go experiment with some, like, I'm too open for us not to be able to have these conversations. So at that point, if you're being unfaithful, it's because it's a choice.
Right.
And you're not happy where you are right now, so I need you to go find where you are happy. So
facts.
I will say that forgiveness for me is not an option now. And like you said, and also I will say in my 20s, I didn't, like, this whole idea of being married and having a family was, like, so deeply ingrained, I couldn't see anything else, right? Like this is what it's supposed to be. Whereas now, being in my 30s, it's like I've been divorced for how long now? Like 7 years. I've been in other relationships. I've been in situationships. I've had friends with benefits, and I've been completely, like, you know, alone and, like, completely single without anyone. So it's like I'm okay with being single. You know what I mean? Or I'm okay with the other options that are out there. Before, I didn't know anything else. So it was just kind of like, well, you know how it's like when you don't know anything else, it's kind of like that fear of, like, experiencing other things. So I just think it's different now. My outlook is different now. So it's kind of like, well, nah, bro, we ain't got to do this. Like, this is a lot. Like,
agreed. I think also for me, the love that I had in my 20s felt different, and, like, in my teens and my 20s, and the love that I've experienced in my 30s. And I don't know if it's because I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. I was going to say something, but I don't know if I can say it. And so I was less likely to let go in my teens and my 20s.
You were like, you had that Bonnie Clyde, Romeo and Juliet love. Like, I will die for you. Like, I can't let you go. Yeah,
like, you know, they could do no wrong type thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the love back then felt different. Like, it was, like, not desperate, but it was just more, it was, like, way more intense. So the idea of, like, letting you go and those feelings of you not being in my life were way more intense than you cheating on me.
Yeah, I got you. So, you know, and now you're like, eh.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Like, you know, so like in my studies of yoga, we talk about possessiveness, right? But like people don't really belong to you. And I do think that when we're younger, we kind of romanticize relationships, and like we do have that, you know, I'm going to be with you forever and I never want to let you go. But it's possessiveness. And, you know, now I kind of look at it as you're in my life forever for whatever amount of time that you're supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Like, so like if that's, you know, if that's forever, great. If it's not, then that's not, your life's path did not mean for you to intersect with mine but only for a moment. And I don't know, and there's romance in that too, because I don't know, it just is. I mean, it's just destined to be what it's gonna be. Does that make sense? Like,
where's the romance in that though?
I mean, because there's no anxiety about it. You know what I mean? It's like
it's free.
It's free.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's kind of like, be here while you enjoy it, and when it no longer serves you or makes you happy, going about your business. I mean, to me, it's just not that deep anymore. Whereas before, it did feel like I can't breathe without you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we not. I mean, if we're, you know, monogamous and exclusive, and you cheat, and then it's not meant for you to be here.
Agreed. So Danica needed to divorce his wife and keep it fucking moving and go be a hoe somewhere else.
Go
Bottom
be
line.
single, Derrick. We're giving you. We're going to be the relationship gurus this week
because everyone's a self-proclaimed relationship guru. So we're self-proclaiming.
So we're telling you to go ahead and get a divorce and leave that woman alone. And Danae,
go find you a real God-fearing man. Not someone who's pretending.
Yeah, and manipulating you with such. And everyone else, I mean, like, even though we might not forgive, do what you want. Do whatever serves you and what makes you happy. If you feel like you're meant to forgive a person and is, you know, maybe your relationship is being tested or whatever, that's your business, and work it out if you decide to. But, I mean, it's nothing wrong with, you know, choosing you.
Yes.
Moving forward. But I mean, you guys know where to find us.
IG Pro Bitch Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the places that you can get or you listen to your podcast.
So. Yes. And as always, thanks for joining us, and tune in next week.